I'm Tiffany, and this is Towering TBR. Today I'm here to talk about my favorite books that I've read in the first half of 2022. I've talked about a couple of them before, so I'll be brief when I'm mentioning stuff I've already mentioned. My top favorite has to be 10 Steps to Nanette by Hannah Gadsby. She calls it her memoir situation. Hannah is a real storyteller in her comedy and as well in her book. She talks about really deep and heavy subjects like mental health and autism, and she just twists them into hilarious situations. I laughed out loud so many times when I read this book, and it is amazing. I highly recommend that you pick it up and also that you listen to the audiobook because she narrates it herself, and it was great. The second book I want to mention is What the Fireflies Knew by Kai Harris. I've mentioned this one too before. About 11-year-old KB and her sister Nia. They are young black women, and after their father dies, their mother takes them to her estranged father's house and leaves them. And learns a lot that summer. She grows up and learns about why her father died, where her mother is, if her mother is coming back, and why they were estranged from the grandfather. The writing is gorgeous, and the characters feel three-dimensional. I think she's incredibly skilled, and I will pick up whatever she puts out next. A third favorite was Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. Sarah Waters is often described as a lesbian Dickens, and, fair dues. It's about Nancy, a 17-year-old girl who has grown up with this adopted family of thieves and conmen, and she's asked to help in a con to swindle a lady out of her money. So she goes there to be the lady's maid and subsequently falls in love. There is a whole lot more to the story, but I don't want to give anything away. It's over 500 pages, but it kept my attention the entire way because it's quite twisty and a lot of unexpected things happen. A fourth book I want to talk about that I don't think I've mentioned yet is True Biz by Sarah Novik. This is a story about a deaf boarding school, and it focuses on three perspectives. The first is a deaf girl who has a cochlear implant, and she has a hearing family, and they expect her cochlear implant to basically turn her into a hearing person, but it doesn't really work for her, and yes, we see her struggles with her family. There's also the director of the boarding school. She is a CODA, which means child of deaf adults. She grew up learning sign language and is therefore fluent and immersed in deaf culture. And the third character perspective is a deaf boy whose entire family is deaf and have gone to the boarding school for as long as it's been opened. And something happens that kind of shakes him out of that comfort. It really focuses a lot on deaf issues, and since Sarah Novik herself is deaf and is an instructor of deaf studies, I feel like she was the perfect person to write this book. It's amazing, and I've had a real interest in the deaf community since learning sign language in college. I'm not fluent, but I know enough to get by, basically, if I need to. But yeah, it was a great book, and I hope you guys will pick it up. Another book I want to highlight as one of my best is one that I literally just finished a few days ago, which is called Our Colors by Gengaro Tagame. This is a manga about a teen boy growing up in Japan, and he's gay. And homosexuality is not widely accepted in Japan. So he's closeted, and when he meets an openly gay man one day by chance, it changes everything for him. He's finally got a mentor, somebody he can talk to these things about. And he starts to draw inspiration, thinking maybe he can be out and like this man. Yeah, it's a hopeful and heartwarming story. Our Colors by Gengaro Tagame is great, and I'm so happy I read it. And lastly, I want to talk about Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Rivka Braun. This was actually the first book I read this year, and it was a 5-star. It is a YA about June, 14-year-old June, growing up in the 1980s. Her best friend is her uncle, and she is bereft when he suddenly and mysteriously dies. And after his funeral, she meets a friend of his and starts to learn that there was a whole lot she didn't know about her uncle. And it's sweet and sad and just lovely. And quite honestly, it was the first thing I read, and I still think about it. So it really had staying power. Have you read any of these books? What was the best book you've read so far this year? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. Bye.